All right, here we are for our second podcast with Rachel. We are, I don't know, day 97 post the ice storm.
Yeah, I know we're day 10 of school days. If we're a moment of silence for the moms. The majority of schools went on a 2-hour delay today. Some of the counties are still out. Mm-hmm. Check on your moms.
Yeah.
So I know that's how I'm counting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm counting by no school days. So today would be day 10 of no school.
Fortunately, the actual snow portion was a bust.
You were right.
Yeah.
Your predictions.
Yeah.
I'm not going to look at the news anymore.
That's right.
Going forward. I'm just going to call you.
I just went into ChatGPT. I said, forecast for Richmond.
That daggone ChatGPT.
And it pulls it from all these other places.
Yeah, it does its job.
But the ice is what got everybody.
Ice apocalypse.
I mean, it still wasn't that bad for like power outages and stuff, but just the cold, it just didn't go away.
Yeah. Power outages, we handled it.
Yeah.
I know that all of the spikes that you can buy to put on your shoes are sold out.
Sold out everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be a new trend come spring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you really paid a lot of money for those. So I foresee people wearing them.
Oh, you got to. You got to get your money out of it. Yeah. And then another big snowstorm from this last weekend that didn't happen at all.
That's right.
Nothing.
And I'm not mad about that.
No.
It did a little bit. There was down in Williamsburg, it was snowing.
Yeah, down that way.
mean,
but we were initially supposed to get like another.
People
10
were
inches
like, okay, buckle up.
Yeah.
We're going again.
We're going again.
Yeah, it wasn't that crazy, but it did come. It did
But
cover
the ice,
the
this is
road
the thing
a
I was
little
talking
bit.
to my friend about this morning is the kids have been stuck in the house and they can't, it's not snow to play in.
No, it's not.
It's dangerous ice. There's been like a huge amount of ER visits, teeth, stitches, broken limbs.
I think every real estate agent has fallen in the last 2 weeks.
Listen.
Did you guys hear about...
You got to walk like a penguin. There's a technique to it.
I've been
Small
sliding.
steps. Yep.
Yeah, I've been sliding. I like laugh and throw my hands up like Rocky at the end of the steps when I accomplish to finally get to this. I had agents say that they met buyers and parked on the road, but couldn't, because the house was vacant, the lockbox was frozen into like the stoop of the house.
Yes.
I had a home inspection at a vacant farm, and it was sad how many times we fell.
Did you guys hear about the two 16-year-olds that died?
I heard about that this morning.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were these two 16-year-olds down in Texas who were sledding. They were getting pulled by a Jeep.
Yeah.
And I guess they crashed into a tree.
Oh, we saw somebody getting pulled on a sled in our neighborhood by a truck, and they were going quite fast. I'm like,
I did it on a four-wheeler.
Ice don't mix.
No.
I was getting pulled with a four-wheeler, and I ate it multiple times.
Yeah.
Like it was like five times, and it was like do, and then I just lay there for a second, and then I'd get up and again.
It's been a strange. It's been strange. 12 days or so. I had a listing appointment, and the seller was super proud of his dual zone HVAC system. And he was like, I got to show it to you. It's on the side of the house. And I was like, you don't have to.
Yeah.
We can stay alive. And he was like, no, let's go. My crawl space, we can stand in it. And why does everybody with a standing crawl space, it's like, come see this.
Yeah, that's right.
You got to come check this out. Then I'm like awkwardly standing in a crawl space with someone that I just met. I'm like, all right, what do we do now? That's a wonderful water pressure.
As he gets the duct tape out.
For sure. Yeah. I didn't have my cell phone on me either. But anyway, so I'm like, I go for it. I'm like, I'm not saying no at a listing appointment. I've come this far.
Yeah.
So we're walking around his house, and we get to the systems, but then I look and he's sliding. He's going down the hill. And it's like one of the drownings that, they teach you, like, don't try to save your friend that's drowning because they'll pull you down. So I was like, oh no! It was like slow motion, and he finally like rebalanced. But I was like, I can't help you. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of those moments.
Yeah.
There was the thing that happened at Wintergreen this past week where the person slid all the way down from their backyard down like the mountain, and like the ski people had to come out and like get them.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, there's a lot of those.
I was like, that's it. This is it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Mom was telling me that because we're doing a bachelorette this weekend at Wintergreen.
Okay.
So leaving Friday night to go up there. And I was like, why are you telling me this? Why? I already don't want to go up there.
And there's no cell phone service at Wintergreen.
Yes.
I didn't know that until I should have.
Yeah.
That's a story.
But yeah, every time dogs go out, they just slide everywhere because the whole yard's just frozen.
Yeah.
The new kid went back to school Wednesday.
They were like, this is enough.
They said they did 2-hour delay, and they said, if you can make it to the bus stop, it'll be there for you. If you can't, at home learning. You do you, make the right choice.
What time did you get to that bus stop?
Oh, our roads has been fine. Our kids like, well, can we just stay home? Like, absolutely not.
Yeah. No, that's not happening.
You can walk your happy butt right down there to the corner and catch the bus.
That's right. That's what happened to Wyatt. So Wyatt rides the special needs bus. Mm-hmm. So they have to come to the front door. Ford, he walks to the end of the neighborhood. Which he normally is like, can I be a car rider? Today he was like, bye mom, I'm going to catch the bus. I was like, all right, dude. So we're on the same boat here. We're done with each other. Yeah. So Wyatt's bus, I'm waiting, and I called transportation, and they were like, oh yeah, they're coming, but it's going to be at least an hour. And I was like, buddy, get in the car. Mama's taking you to school. Let's go.
It's time to go, yeah. I think New Kent's just had enough of people complaining because, I mean, New Kent's like 80% like shaded by trees, right?
Yeah, my road is still
but like our neighborhood,
oh, yeah.
I mean, the road, once you got to the road going into our neighborhood, it was clear all the way to the interstate, to the schools or whatever. Yeah. So, of course, you get people complaining, why are we still out of school? The roads are fine because they never take a right and go to the dark side of New Kent. That don't get sunlight.
My side of New Kent.
The frozen.
Yeah, and it's just like anything else. It doesn't matter what you do.
Right.
You can't make everybody happy.
No,
if you send so they were just like, bus will be there for you. If you can make it, great. If not, whatever.
So did it count as like an absence?
It did not because they did the asynchronous.
They have to do work, which that's a whole nother thing.
I'm so glad I don't have kids.
I was cooking the other night after work, and Ford was sitting down. He's in 5th grade, and then he had to do, pick up math, all of the subjects. Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right, well, come on, let's do this together. And so he read the first math problem, and I was like, can you Google that? And he was like, Mom, no, we can't Google it. And I was like, can I Google it?
ChatGPT. Breaks it down step by step.
I sent a screenshot and sent it to my brother in California, and I was like, I'm going to need your help here.
Yeah, when Jordan needs help with math, so that's what I do. I do ChatGPT. And she's like, Daddy, why do you always use ChatGPT? I was like, because I got my high school diploma.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
In
one ear, out the other for the SOLs, and then it's gone forever.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
So we have. There's still definitely. I think there's going to be remnants of ice apocalypse for a while, but we have. I feel like the world, Mother Nature, is really just testing how sane we can stay at home with our kids. Between COVID and now this, if you've made it through, we deserve something, a badge.
Fortunately, our kids are at the age where they just stay in their rooms most of the time. So
that's wonderful.
It is.
I have one.
Yeah.
I have one that does that.
Yes.
Yeah. One really likes me still.
Yeah.
And I'm like, please.
Yeah.
Please find something to do.
Yeah, I had to take Jordan her Chromebook this morning because she forgot it at the house, and I got the text, and then she needed money for the book fair. Apparently, she needed $50. I mean, I guess inflation.
That whole thing.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you going
to
even read? Yeah, I was like, you don't even read the books. So I take it to her.
$50 is crazy. I would have been happy with the 20.
Right?
Yeah, we used to get like $1 or something.
Like, yeah,
but it was a big deal.
It was.
Yeah.
So I take her Chromebook, and she's like, thanks, and walked off like, no hug.
Yeah.
Got the side hug. I'm like, okay.
Welcome.
Yeah. Last weekend, she decided to start calling me Sid. So her life expectancy is getting shorter.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh. My cousin
she just giggled
does that.
too. We're at dinner. 11.
Yeah. So Ford's 10, and I'm not funny anymore.
No,
I'm not funny.
No, we are not funny anymore, for sure. Yeah.
No. So, welcome.
Yeah.
I'm glad my little cousins are still, they're younger, so they still give me hugs. The oldest one, he's 11 or 12 now. I don't know. One of those two.
At the house and stuff, but yeah, not school.
He'll initiate it though. I don't even have to ask. I have to ask the two younger ones. I gotta be like, where my hug at? But for
Jordan will when she wants something. Daddy.
Yeah.
That's how she says it too. She says, "Can we go to Dollar General?"
Oh, Dollar General. Well, that's nice of her.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she knows I ain't taking her anywhere else. That's Mommy, can we go shopping?
Yeah, Ford just wants everything on his video games bought. Like, and I do get a notification to just press a button, and I'm buying, I don't know, some weird Fort something.
Yeah,
Fortnite
some Roblox.
Yeah.
Robux.
Yeah.
Robux, yep.
Yeah. Well, the other thing the ICE did was really crush the momentum in the old real estate.
It really did.
Market. We were rolling really good.
Same.
And then the ICE came and put a halt on that real quick.
Yeah.
Which I get.
Daniel Keaton sent a message out last night. The owner broker of my company that I work for, and he said, "Hey guys, what's going on? I'm a little concerned of the closings that we had this week." And it's like, well, first of all, the world stopped.
He looked outside.
Yeah. The lock boxes were frozen.
Yeah.
You couldn't open them. And also, it's just timing. Like, already, this is kind of like a hunt and gathering time for sales, and kind of like reconnecting with sellers that you spoke to last year. Like, hey, let's get a game plan going. For your launch. And then for buyers, they're like, okay, it's New Year's, now what? Okay, well, we've got to get you to talk to the money guy. When's your lease up? Like all of the things. So I feel like we're doing, and I think we talked about this last time, like right now is, if you're not in your car, if you're not like busy, go, it doesn't mean it's time to take a nap. Yeah. It's really time to prepare yourself for what's coming.
Sure. And it was also tough. I mean, nobody wants to go leave their house when it's 7 degrees outside. No. Like, I didn't want to go anywhere. No. I mean, it's just miserable when it's that cold with the wind. You know? And you're in -5 with the wind chill and whatever.
Right.
And then we had a couple cancel because they just didn't want to deal with the house anymore. We had people push back the inspections because of the snow on the roof.
I was wondering that if people were pushing.
Yeah, we had quite a few push.
I kind of used it for my benefit. I was told the seller, I was like, listen, you could give us a credit. Yeah. Or I can push back extend the home inspection period. Yeah. So we have time for this stuff to melt and I can get a contractor. And he's like, let's just settle with the credit.
And then with kids being at home, that's a whole nother thing, trying to.
Yeah, because it's not like scheduled where you would normally for summer have your kids in camp or, at daycare or something like that.
So there's a lot of factors, but I know yesterday, especially later in the day, we started getting a lot of inspections start rolling in.
I'm sure.
For Friday and then next week and whatnot. So definitely, people are starting to get back out there.
Oh, yeah. Britt from 360 met me and my buyers for 3.5 hours in like the very beginning of this.
Yes.
weather. And I kept like, I was inside, she's outside. I kept like cracking the door and being like, "You good?" I don't know what I could do for you, but I just want to let you know I'm here.
I'm here.
And she's a trooper.
She is.
I was like,
she is.
I was like, were you able to see the roof?
Yeah.
She was like, yeah. I was like, all right. But when she was getting ready to go in that crawl space, I was like, said a little prayer for her.
Yeah.
I was like, I've got you.
The crawl space isn't that bad when it's cold. The best part about it is once you get in, it's cool, but it's not as cold as it is outside.
Right.
And then there's no wind.
That's true. So maybe she was like, I need a crawl space for it first.
Yeah. It's actually, I find that crawl spaces tend to be a little bit warmer in the wintertime than attics. Attics are typically a little bit colder. Yeah.
For sure.
So it's not, I mean, it's not warm and toasty like inside the house, but it's definitely doable though.
Yeah. She got it done.
Yeah. So that brings up the next fun thing which is, we're getting back into it. The market, I mean, I don't know. Everybody talks about buyer market, seller's market, neutral market, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And of course, COVID was a buyer's market, very much so to the extreme. Now, I don't even know what the inventory is right now.
Yeah, NAR just put out they've been doing it for a very, very long time, like 25 plus years. But you can buy it. I didn't buy it. I just listened to a podcast that kind of put all the info together. But they just released all of the kind of stats for 2025. Mm-hmm. And then we also just had a meeting on Monday, and it's been a buyer's market. But now it's kind of neutralizing. Yeah. Because last year the interest rates at this time, I think we're like 6.7.
6.7.
Yeah, 6.7. There you go. I still don't know what that means.
Nobody knows. We were just talking about it before you got here.
It doesn't have a meaning.
It doesn't. And that bothers me.
That's it. Well, like that's the whole point of it, is that it doesn't have a meaning.
Oh
so that everybody's like, well, what does it mean?
They're like doing birthday invitation. Like I'm seeing all that.
I know.
Still? I thought it was dying out.
I don't think for like the younger kids.
Yeah. Oh.
I think they're still
they stick around
with it. But I oh my gosh, that's what it is. It throws you off of what your thinking process was.
Yeah. Mortgage rates.
Oh yeah, mortgage rates, and now on average, it's like 6.4. So not huge, but something. Yeah. So that anytime you have a decrease in interest rates, you have an increase in buyers. Yeah. So that I like a level market.
Yeah, for sure. But with that comes figuring out who's good at real estate.
Right.
From lead gen to acquiring clients to negotiations to getting it to closing.
That's right.
Yeah. So, as you alluded to before we started, you were unaware of the influx of new agents during COVID. Yeah.
No idea.
Because everybody said it's free money.
Yeah.
Everybody selling houses.
I was listening again to a podcast. It's like all that I do. But they were like, yeah, there was such a increase in people getting their real estate license during COVID because they were working from home, and they were like, hey, I can do this part-time job that's super easy. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, COVID was one of my best years.
Sure.
And I guess I was just so busy I didn't notice all the new people.
Yeah.
And now they're gone.
A lot of them are gone. A lot of them are gone.
That was a short fight.
Yeah. Funny how that happens.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest things that we run into when we're doing inspections with newer agents is just a lack of understanding what the inspections are. Right. And like you've talked about, nobody knows what we do. And I often joke when we do classes, clients don't know what we do. Agents don't know what we do. Some home inspectors don't know what we do. Right? Which is sad but true. So when you go out there and like you said, you've had, because you're doing teaching and stuff like that over at Keaton now, is you get like, hey, this home inspection report's 80 pages. Got anybody that does it for less?
Let's just start this. What is a home inspection report? You know, we went from, you know, if you got your license during COVID, you were not having to learn about home inspections.
Yeah, didn't have to see it.
Because if the buyer got one, we were living in the land of for informational purposes only.
Didn't even open it.
That's right.
And we've like our system tracks when the client and the agent opens the report and how many times they open it, when.
Oh,
and so there's times that I've gone looking at inspection reports like the agents never even opened it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a little scary.
Yeah, our system tracks everything like that. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
One time I ADD'd off of inputting an inspection and you text me and you were like, you going to complete that inspection input? And I was like, thanks, dude.
Yeah. Just saying. Just saying. Got bills to pay.
Yeah, so I literally had a call from an agent yesterday that was like, hey, we're still negotiating this home inspection, because even if we were negotiating a home inspection, we had things like buyers were waiving a certain amount.
Oh yeah, like under 5,000.
That's right. Yeah. It was only for, you know, structural situations. So if you were negotiating at all, it was like a kind of like a quick one side negotiation, and then it was done. I mean, I just negotiated a home inspection for a week.
Yeah.
Going back and forth.
Yeah.
And you know, we're also, since it is a buyer's market, you're seeing again what I saw earlier in my career was a buyer is like, oh, let's put every defect on the repair request. Yeah. Why wouldn't they fix that? And so that's, I don't know how many times, I think I say it a lot, all day long, expectations. Yeah. Setting realistic expectations.
You do. And there's a lot of misunderstandings or myths or whatever, or just don't know when it comes to home inspections. And one, John Craner, who sits on the board, been a home inspector forever, one of the most knowledgeable guys around here. Mm-hmm. He's been on the board. He's actually going to come off of it because he's been on it a couple terms. Mm-hmm. So he's very...
What board?
For the home inspectors, for DPOR. So,
okay.
Yeah. So he's very knowledgeable when it comes to the regulations and things like that. And one of the meetings we had one time, he thought that in order to meet state minimum standards for a home inspection report, you're at least 20 to 25 pages. That's before you find anything.
So, like, explain that a little bit more. So you're like talking about age of roof, age of systems?
Yeah, what type it is, you know, because we got to take, you know, I guess we don't have to take the pictures, but we take pictures of the HVAC units. We have to say what, you know, the brand, the age of it. Mm-hmm.
How do y'all figure out? I know what I do.
What do you do?
I look at the serial number and the first two numbers. I go, well, this is what I say. I'll tell you my spiel. I go, let's just say it says 11.
Yeah.
I go, well, you can think that approximately this was manufactured in 2011. So it was brought to this house and installed, you know, 2011, 2012.
Yeah. For the most part, that's accurate. There are a couple brands that do it backwards. It's the third and fourth number. And
yeah. And you can kind of tell because it doesn't make sense. It's like
it's when it's 1212, you know, or 1218. You're like, all right, well, which one is it?
Right.
You know, is it 2012 or 2018?
Right.
And then there's some like York or maybe Lennox. So we'll do like a number, letter, then number, and then you got to put them together.
What is that? I wonder what's behind that, because you would think by now.
They just put the manufacturing date on there.
Yeah, like a
Train
hot
does,
water tank.
Yeah, Train does. American Standard does. But yeah, a lot of them still don't. But yeah, there's a website that we use that's like a home inspector resource that tells you how to look up all that. And after a while, you just remember. Right. But also, ChatGPT, take a picture. This is a carrier unit. Tell me how old it is, and it will. Tell you how it'll pull all that information off, tonnage, all that stuff.
For sure.
But yeah, so we have to document all that: the type of siding, the type of shingles, type of water supply piping, where the shutoffs are. We have to put in the standards of practice, which is our minimum standards, right? So that all has to go in the report. Like the information of when we start, when we stop, weather, temperature, all that stuff. All that has to go in the report.
Yeah.
So, like I said, John thinks about 20 to 25 pages, depending on what software you're using, before you even get to the defects. So that's for what, right? So when you start seeing, and I've seen it, I've seen some very older inspectors that's been doing it for 20 years with 11-page reports. And I'm like, yeah, you're in violation of so many rules right now.
Yeah, because y'all have continued education like we do, right?
Yeah, 16 hours every 2 years.
Yeah, and that's kind of what it comes up, those types of things?
No, see, where real estate is more regulated because you have approved CEs, right? And you can only go to, you have a catalog basically, if you wanted to, or you just figure out who does it. But I have to submit because we teach CE classes, I have to submit through the real estate licensing board or the education branch of it and get my courses approved for CE for real estate, right? For realtors. It's not like that for home inspectors.
Yeah.
There's no approval process. So I can actually set in a class, and if I submit it for CEs, the board can actually reject it because it doesn't meet what they feel like it should be.
Oh.
Even though there's no approval or denial beforehand. So, yeah.
That's so vague.
It really is. It really is. So, yeah, it's fun. But most of the CE classes is typically roofing, electrical, structural systems. Very little of it has to do. Now, when we do our annual meeting, if you're part of the Virginia Association of Real Estate Inspectors, which is, I don't want to say the legislative association, but that's kind of what they do, right? They're more the ones that's involved in lobbying and things like that for the laws and stuff like that in Virginia. But, John or somebody from Depot or somebody normally gets up there and talks about the updates and the changes. And like this past October, he went over everything that was going to be updated in our contracts and reports, like what has to be in there.
Okay.
So they're taking pictures of all the screenshots, going home, updating everything.
So is he the dude that decides what becomes a defect? And the reason why there's a little substance to this. So, over the years, I've seen where a defect wasn't once and now is. Not with this particular one. So recently, I haven't seen it in years, had 2 home inspections with 360 that had underground oil tanks. And it wasn't, and then another one was aluminum wiring. And so the home inspection had it written up as maybe a defect. I know the aluminum wiring was a defect. I don't know about the tank.
Sometimes the tank is just there as information. So great questions. Some of this gets driven because nobody knows what we do, right? For example, I did an inspection for an agent, and she says, yes, my last inspector missed the underground oil tank. It's not a thing that we do. And when the client moved into the home, it rained, and they had the rainbow oil slick in their front yard. Oh. Right? And so, of course, that's a big environmental mess right there. Yeah. Very, very expensive to clean up. And I was like, that's not really, I didn't argue because now she's giving me business. But that's not really something that's part of what we do, right? We're not required to go around looking for underground oil tanks. But because it is such an expensive thing, we'll note in there that, hey, you may have it underground or above ground. We're not allowed to cite code at all, ever, in reports, talking to clients, agents. But Virginia code and the Virginia Fire Code both state that if you have an underground or above ground oil tank that hasn't been used in a year or over a year, it needs to be discontinued, filled in, removed, whatever.
Right.
Right. And again, those are expensive processes. and it involves the localities. You're supposed to call the fire marshal's office. They're supposed to oversee it. They're supposed to document it, all these things. So it's a whole big process, right?
But it doesn't necessarily say, that's not like one of those things, you know, for instance, if we get a septic inspection and it fails, the contract reads that you negotiate it, but the seller covers the first $1,000.
Right.
So it's kind of like, let's say that the contract read as is. So the seller's like, you can get all your inspections, but I'm not doing anything. When the septic happens, sometimes you can be like, listen, this is a septic. Why is that how the oil tank?
No.
I know.
No.
It is. Sorry. If you can hear it in the thing.
Yeah.
I think it's just because it's on the table and it's doing the vibration. That's why. Because I kept hearing it and I was like, what is going on? That's why I kept taking on and off the headphones.
It's mine. I have really needy people in my life.
That's right. So when it comes to, I mean, there's not a good answer for it, right? Because it's, again, we can't cite code, so we're not regulated by code, so we can't force anybody to do anything.
Right.
And that's where, again, some more misinformation, because I've had agents say, well, that's not a defect, and just talk about anything, right? Pick anything that goes in a home inspection report.
Especially when you hear the grandfather word.
Yeah, and like GFCIs, right?
Yeah.
That's a perfect one, is like, well, the house was built in the 70s, that's not a defect. You can't make it a defect. Yes, I can. Well, that's not what our contract reads. I don't care about your contract.
Yeah.
Right? I don't work for you. We're not governed by the real estate board. We're not governed by the associations. We're separate. We're church and state, right? Yeah. What we consider a defect and what the real estate contract considers a defect are two different things. And that's where the real estate agent makes their money, is understanding what you can and can't ask for and being able to properly convey that to the client, right? Because, again, some of this is shifting liability, right? We're going to be honest about that.
Yeah.
But
who's going to pay for it?
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, because if nobody knows what we do, so when that client moves into that home and we didn't tell them that, we recommended upgraded GFCIs, and they get an electrician to come out to fix something else, and he says, can't believe that home inspector didn't write that up. That's going to cost you $500.
Y'all get thrown under the bus. So
real quick. And now the agent's saying we missed something.
Right.
Right. So now all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, you're not going to refer us anymore because we missed something, even though you didn't want us to put it in to begin with.
Right.
And the client's mad, expecting us to pay for this stuff when you can argue that it's not really a defect per today's standards, right? Because it's grandfathered in.
Right.
So, like I said, it's
a tricky one.
It is. So that's why our approach is like whatever we put in the report, we put in the report, right? The house is what the house is. Like, we try to explain it to the clients, but at the end of the day, what we consider a defect, and it's subjective. There is nowhere, anywhere, in any association, any law, anywhere that says that a home inspector has to consider A, B, and C a defect. It's all subjective. That's why, not being able to cite code is a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because we're not limited by code. We can go off experience. Like, hey, I know that's not a code thing, but I've also seen what happens when you don't fix this, right?
Yeah.
But it also hinders us because it's like, well, that's fine how it is. Can't really cite. I know it's a code thing, but I can't tell you it's a code thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I always say a home inspection. First of all, to my buyer, I go, you're hiring the home inspector. The home inspector works for you.
Yeah.
The reason for the home inspection is to get a overview picture of the current status and condition of the home. If there are things that come up in the home inspector that they see that they question or, they feel like could possibly be a defect, and it is a deal breaker to you to move forward with this purchase, because once you buy it in the state of Virginia, it and all of the things are yours, then we need to have time to bring in licensed contractors, and that may cost them more money because that's really what it is, right? Like buyers are like, hold on, how much is a home inspection? They'll ask how much the home inspection is before they ask how many home inspections has your home inspector completed.
100%.
You know?
Agents do the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's really about like seeing, and I say that during the buyer consult. I'm like, this is the fees that you're going to have to come up with prior to closing.
Yeah.
So then when we get to a emotional, like super excited, I want to buy this house, but it is built in 1983. I'm like, hey, let's just kind of foresee that these are the home inspections and the contractors that we're going to have to line up to make sure that you're confident about moving forward.
Yeah, 100%. And that's a good point because I tell people like we're the general practitioner, right?
Yeah.
Like you go to your family doctor and they do a test, blood test, like, hey, we found something. I was like, okay, that's cool. What is it? I don't know. Go see a specialist, right?
Yeah, that's so
and it's the same thing, right? Just don't get paid as much. But there's going to be times where you find stuff and you need to go get it looked at by somebody else.
Right.
And sometimes that's just because that's how real estate goes. I've had several times where I've said, hey, this is a problem. I know it's a problem. The list agent's going to tell you to get an electrician to tell you it's a problem.
Right. You have to have it documented.
I'm just a home inspector. They don't trust me, right? I don't know what I'm talking about. And then you have to turn around and pay $200 for your electrician. I'm like, yep, that's a problem. Needs to be replaced.
Right.
But that's just how it goes.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of money to figure out what your product that you're buying is.
Yeah, it does. This does. And that's why I think it passed. I'd have to go back and look. But like Massachusetts put a law in that, one, you can't negotiate home inspections out of your contracts. Every buyer has a right to a home inspection. And they have a right to, I think, a 10-day home inspection window.
Okay.
Can't negotiate it, right? They have that right. And if you get a home inspection on day 9, you have another X amount of days, even though it's on day 9 out of 10, you get an extension to get electricians, engineers, whoever else you want out there, get it. Because that's the one thing that sucks, right? Because you can't ask a seller, well, I need you to call an HVAC company to look at this.
Yeah.
Right? Because all inspections are on the buyer.
And agents will try to push that when they're running out of time.
Yeah, so when you're on day 9 or 10 out of 10, and you're like, man, I can't get an engineer out here. I can't get a roofer out here. I can't get these people out here.
Let me see if I can put it on the repair request.
Yeah. So that's where you got to get creative and try to do some manipulation or get an extension. But that's not if you're a list agent, that's not in the seller's best interest.
No, and
right?
A seller.
I mean, they agree to it sometimes.
You really they agree to it if it comes with a release.
Yeah.
Like if there's an addendum backed up with a release. If you don't give us some extra time, then we're going to have a release. Yeah. So it's kind of a bully system.
It is. But going back to the point though, like I said, that's when we put things in there about the oil tanks or certain systems or whatever. It 100% is like, I know that no one's going to negotiate that, right? No one's going to, very few anyways.
Right.
And most of the time it's informational that we put it in there, but it's because we don't want that call back later.
Yeah.
So even though it is what it is, but like I said, it's the game of what you were told.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's kind of like an aging roof, right? You can't negotiate an aging roof just because it's old, right?
Oh, yeah.
But we put it in there as informational, and in there it always says, recommend having it inspected by a roofer prior to the end of the due diligence period if you have any concerns. And had that issue come up last week with an HVAC system. They closed, the inspection was in December, they closed, and like, hey, we just had to replace the fans on it. Y'all missed this. No, we didn't. And I pulled the SOPs and I put those in the email about what we're required to inspect, how we inspect it. And I put in there that in 3 different places you were told that the system was old and we recommended having an HVAC guy evaluate it, and you chose not to.
Right.
And that we cannot predict when repairs are supposed to happen or going to need to happen. You know?
Right.
If I had a crystal ball, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, if I see an aged HVAC system, and this is the thing, people don't think about this. They'll look at the outdoor unit and not realize that they could have replaced that and not replace the indoor unit.
Happens all the time.
Yeah. And then furnaces, they go for like 75 years.
It seems like it, yeah.
So it's like, if you get a home and your buyer, you know, has the expectation of, I'm not moving forward, this is a deal breaker, then the best game plan is to just go ahead when that. I've sat at a home inspection and had contractors at the same time.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I just knew that it was going to like come up. Yeah. So why not just get it done then?
We did one. Britt actually did one a couple days ago, and the agent had us. They had a foundation company because they knew there was foundation issues. Had another company, maybe electrical, and they were looking for a stucco company.
Right.
I know this is going to be a thing.
Oh, stucco.
You know? Oh, stucco.
Was it a north side?
Probably.
Yeah.
I have to look. Probably.
I learned that.
Yeah.
I learned about north side stucco years and years ago.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, a lot of this stuff just goes down to, you know, to CYA for us.
Right.
But it's also, we want the client to know what you're getting into. You know, another one we had right before Thanksgiving, and, you know, to be clear, out of 1,500 inspections last year, we had less than 10 callbacks, and maybe 2 of those were legit.
Very nice.
So, I mean, it's not like we get a ton, but they stick out to you.
Of course, it burns.
And the client was mad because of something on the roof. But they even said that, it looks like it was something that was documented in the report, and that's where the leak's coming from. Well, I don't know what you want me to do about that. Pulled up the report, and like, oh, you were told it was an old roof. Mm-hmm. Did you have a roofer come out? No.
Yeah.
I don't care if you can negotiate or not. If I'm buying a house and you told me that the roof is old or end of its life, whether I can negotiate or not, I want a roofer to tell me.
That's right.
Yeah, because I need to know. Because unless I'm just that kind of flush with money, then it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm not flush with money.
Yeah, let's line up some quotes and get a real picture.
If I can't afford a roof in 3 years or 6 months or whatever, I may not be able to afford this home. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing is it's not just the defects that you can negotiate, is can you truly afford this home based on what we find? Mm-hmm. You know, can you afford to, because we've had it to where there's been 2 HVAC units, which is common nowadays. Both of them are 20 years old. It may last 5 years. One may die tomorrow. One may die in 3 years. Can you afford to replace 2 units at the same time?
Ooh, that's harsh.
Right? If the answer is no, this may not be the house for you.
Right.
Unless you can work out something else. You know, credit, negotiations, warranty, whatever.
Good old warranties.
Good old warranty.
I see them coming back as well.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah. See those guys coming back slowly.
Yeah. So, like I said, some of it is negotiations, things that you can, but some of it's just information like, hey, this is a thing that you have. Can you deal with this?
Right. Because it's an overall picture, people. I'm going to use that. When you said that you're the general practitioner that refers you out to specialists, that's gold right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what we did because it's impossible. Have you ever seen the electrical code book?
I have not.
It's thick, right?
I'm sure.
And then you take the plumbing code book, which is equally as thick.
It's so hard to find an electrician.
Yeah.
I have like plumbers on speed dial. I have handymen, like all of these people, electricians.
Yeah.
That's another ball game.
Yeah. Yeah. So you take all that. It's impossible for a home inspector to know all that stuff. It's impossible. You can do this job for 40 years and not see or know everything.
Right.
That's what makes it fun. But it's also like, that's why why did I call you just to have to call an electrician? Because you didn't know you needed an electrician before you called me.
I wonder what the dropout rate I know the dropout rate is super high within the first 2 years. And I think they only know the first 2 years is because that's when people have to go renew their CE. So I wonder who's tracking, before that, who knows. But I know it's high with real estate. I wonder what the fallout rate for home inspectors.
I think it's high, and I go by the fact that in order to get licensed in Virginia, you have to do your ride-alongs, right? Get shadow inspections, basically.
So you have to go to let's go through it. You have to go to home inspection school.
Yep.
Okay, and how long is that?
72 hours.
Okay.
And then you have to do your 25 ride-alongs.
Okay.
And then you have to do a 200-question national exam.
25 ride-alongs. Let's back up.
Yep.
So that's 25 inspections you're going to and not getting paid.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, unless you get hired by a company willing to train you basically through the process.
Okay.
But the problem is there's a lot of people that don't pass the exam, right? So if you come to me and say, hey, I want to, get a job with you, and you haven't passed the exam, the answer is a hard no.
So
right?
you do the school, then exam, then the ride-alongs.
There's no set.
But that's what you're saying should happen.
Yeah. And then you have to have general liability insurance, and then you get licensed. So fun fact, not professional liability, not E&O. Only general liability is required in Virginia.
And that's not company, like Daniel holds my insurance.
No, I hold it as the company. And when they renew, my insurance broker just puts their name on it, and we submit it.
Okay.
Showing that they're covered. So,
right.
But once you do those 25 ride-alongs, like I said, that's if you get hired, you'll get paid for it. But for the most part, that's on your own. But going back to it is we've had a lot of people. I don't know how many people you think we've had. It's probably been 24 at least.
That just do the ride-alongs?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I've lost count because I don't know about half of them.
So what do they do? They, come for 10?
Some do the whole 25. Some would bounce around to a couple different companies. But I can tell you I know of maybe 2 that got licensed, and that we've seen them,
Wow.
Yeah. So now some of them were coming up from like Yorktown and stuff like that, but still the ones in this area, I know of just a couple,
So they do the 25 and then they go to DPOR?
If you're done with everything, that's when you go to DPOR.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to be done with everything.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of them don't, like I said, a lot of them just don't pass the test. Or a lot of them finally realize, because when you watch a home inspector, one, it's boring, right?
Sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's fun for me, not the client.
Right.
But if you just watch, all they do is open doors and check outlets. I can do that, right? And then when you start talking to an inspector because you're going through the process, God, I got to know all that.
No, the amount of different information that y'all have to store is wild to me.
Yeah. That's why sometimes.
That's what's interesting to me is the amount of, just the amount of information y'all have.
That's why I say I don't, sometimes it's just, I don't know. It's not because I'm not good at my job. It's just, it's a lot.
You know a lot.
Well, that's what the crawl space is for.
Yeah, I Google a lot of stuff in the crawl space when nobody can see me.
I love that. Now I know.
Yeah.
It really is only supposed to take 5 minutes.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
20 minutes later, you're like, wait, oh my God, what's wrong with this crawl space?
So yeah, I think it's a pretty high percentage of people. And then just beyond that, just like real estate, I mean, you're under a broker, but you're still an independent contractor, right? You can hang your license at Keaton or Keller Williams or Long and Foster, and that's it. You don't have to do anything else.
Right.
Right. They can't make you go to training. They can't make you do any of this stuff.
Right.
Home inspector, you get your license. It's not like electrical and plumbing and the trades where you have to do an apprenticeship under somebody. Go off and do great things, right? So then they go off and try to start their own business on their own. Yeah.
I don't know how many home inspectors are I'm going to get my home inspector's license, and then that's what I'm going to do. I'm always hey, if somebody comes to me and they're like, I'm thinking about getting my home inspector license, I tell them, I'm like, when you're ready, let me introduce you to Sid, and you just talk to him because there's a lot of steps.
Yeah.
And you should probably join an established company.
Yeah. Everybody that I have on my team, especially some of the newer ones, they've all said the same thing. I'm glad I joined the team, because this is just too much.
It's how you learn.
It's too much to know. And a lot of it is I didn't know what I didn't know.
Well, also you can start getting, this is so very similar to our brokerage. We have a lead model. Mm-hmm. So we set it up where you can be a brand new agent, and within the first 30 days, you can get somebody under contract. The only way other to do that as an independent agent is, I mean, if you're really just super strong in your entrepreneurial skills, or like your family and friends. This is like we're giving you all of the resources for free. And you just run with it, and we have ample amount of training that you can say yes to.
Yeah, and it one of the banes of my existence is trying to get into real estate offices to teach classes, right? And the reason being is because like nobody wants to hear from the home inspector or the pest control guy, right? Because it's not sexy, it's not real estate related, right? But these are the things that we see people screw up the most.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I've had agents ask me, say, what are you seeing? I was like, this is what I'm seeing. And it's, you know, when I'll show up to a home inspection and the agent says, I've never been to one of these before.
Wow.
Oh, great. You know, sometimes they're very open-minded. But what gets them in trouble is at the end, and the client's like, all right, what do I do now? And the agent's like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's scary.
And this is the step that can get you in the most trouble. You know, really, one of the steps anyways, because if you don't, I've seen agents come out of pocket because they didn't meet the deadlines, and the client's like, well, who the fuck's going to pay for this?
That will make you wake up in a panic at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
You know, thank goodness for my transactions team.
Yeah. And all of a sudden it's like, well, I guess I'm coming out of pocket $5,000 because I couldn't negotiate anything because I missed the deadline.
Yeah.
You know,
that's scary. That will stick.
Or I don't know how, and sometimes clients just don't listen. And I get that. It's a lot of information, or they just don't like to listen. But there's been many times where I've gone to an inspection and they've said, so we can ask them to fix this, right? And the agent's like, no, this is as is. What do you mean it's as is?
I know.
No one told me it was as is. I thought we could negotiate. And that's just when I slowly walk out of the room because mom and dad are fighting.
Oh, yeah. Or when we were in the land of waiving things under a certain amount, I had a client that was not okay with that amount anymore. Yeah. So it gets sticky sometimes.
And that's a good point because, we're waiving everything under 5,000. That's cool. You know, those are big things. And then when we write up 100 things, that's all, you know, you can call it nickel and dime stuff, but it all adds up to 20,000. All of a sudden you're like, oh.
Right.
Not one single
Those
thing
foggy window panes.
Not one single thing is over 5,000, but I got 40 things I need to fix.
Right.
You know, and $200 here and $700 here and $2,000 there, that adds up real quick.
Expectations.
Yeah,
for sure.
So, I mean, my favorite ones now are when they say, hey, we waived everything under 500. I'm like, well, you can ask for everything because it costs $300 just to get somebody out here to look at
it.
That's right. So by the time you add in another hour and some material, you're at $500.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, it's just, I mean, you really just got to understand, one, there is a separation of church and state, right? We don't work for real estate companies. Realtors don't work with us or for us.
Right.
You know, we don't go by their contracts. They don't go by our contracts.
Right.
I've had people say, well, I'm going to call my real estate agent. Call them. They've got nothing to do with this. Right. This is between me and you. Right. You know, unless they give you bad advice, then go talk to them. But, you know, so, but it's also understanding like, hey, you can. There's inspectors out there that allow you to dictate the inspection process, but like you can't dictate the inspection process.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, you can't tell me what not to put in the report.
Right. Going back to real estate agents don't want to learn. This will be a fun fact. So I don't know if you remember this. It was maybe a year or two ago. I called you and said I was doing a class on home inspections. And you sent me a file.
Some sample reports?
Yeah, some sample reports. And I think you sent me like a fabulous slideshow that I cannot find anymore. So at Keaton, they put it in like our drive, and now it's part of the new agent training. And I wasn't aware of that. Yes, which doesn't surprise me. But I had an agent, a new agent, email me the other day and go, hey, can you send me that slideshow on foundation cracks? And there's like this spamming email been going around. I forwarded it to Daniel, and I was like, is this a spam? Because that's how people don't want to learn about home inspections.
I know.
But it was real.
Yeah,
She really did. I was
Yeah.
like, I went up to her. I saw her in the office, which that doesn't happen either.
Yeah.
And I saw her in the office, and I was like, hey, I want to introduce myself, and I want to let you know I appreciate your feedback about the inspection training.
Yeah. and to be clear, it's not that agents don't want to learn, it's that they don't want to learn outside of the core business, right? Of leads and stuff like that.
Yeah, how can I get this closed?
Yeah.
But that is so much a part of it.
Yeah.
Learning that stuff.
It is, because I don't know how many times I've seen an agent screw a client over because they're like, oh, that's not a big deal. That's not a big deal.
Right.
And then I get a phone call like, well, you said it wasn't a big deal. Like, actually, the report says it's a big deal because we put it in red. Red means important.
Yeah.
Your agent talked you out of it. They told you it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
And now after you
can't
close,
always work for the deal.
Yeah. Now after you close, you got $20,000 foundation problem because nobody thought to call somebody out there to actually see if it was a big deal or not.
Yeah.
And one of the big ones, like I said, this is how you get in trouble. As we getting close to wrapping it up, but did one about a month ago now. House was 100-year-old house, been renovated. It was renovated a year ago and sold, right? Buyer had a home inspection. Now she fell in love, right? Living with the guy, and now they're going to sell this house. And I show up, and I'm looking at the back of the house. Agent shows up early, and she's like, so what do you think? I'm like, well, the house is leaning, so that's a problem. And she's like, don't say that. So had a basement and a little crawl space, probably about as big as this room, from probably to the table, actually. Just a little addition from the kitchen. And we go into the basement, and there's 4x4 posts all through the basement supporting the floor, and they're bowing, and they're sagging, and they're a 2.5-inch drop. All the construction underneath the little crawl space is wrong. Like, it's so bad. And the called a contractor out, $30,000 just in structural, right? List agent calls me. Different agent than what the client used before, right? And he's like, do you think that's accurate? I'm like, I don't know. Get a second opinion. I don't do the work. I don't know, right? So they called another company that's reputable. They were within dollars of each other. 30,000.
Yeah, sorry to tell you.
And he said the only thing that was in the report about structural, well, he said there was nothing, one, but the only thing that was in there about in the basement was a picture of paint cans. I said, well, how this gets realtors in trouble, and I don't know if this is what happened or not, but if the realtor recommended that home inspector, that's where you can get yourself in trouble, right? So if you're recommending home inspectors that don't like to write big reports.
Yeah, they work for the agent.
They work for the, that can get you in trouble, right? If you can prove it, right?
For
obviously. Sure. So that's why I mean, like, if you're like, hey, this home inspector, man, they kill the deals, just because we find stuff.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, there's home inspectors that over exaggerate and veer outside their lane, but just doing the job, doing what you're supposed to do, doing right by the client, and like, yeah, that's too much. I need to go find somebody who doesn't write up as much stuff. Yeah. And I've had that. I like you, but you write up too much stuff. Okay. And then in 6 months, they'll call me back again. Right. So if that's what you're going for, like you're playing with your license at that point.
Well, I'm in the business of repeat customers.
Yeah.
And that's not how you do that.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, a $500 home inspection isn't worth my license.
That's right.
I don't know what the average commission is, $5,000, whatever it is. That's not going to feed you forever if your license gets taken away. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So,
you can get a bad name real quick.
You do. You do. And even though there's 7,000 agents in the area and 100 or so home inspectors, like, that spreads quickly.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of names out there that I'll just bring up like, oh, yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, for sure.
For
sure.
But anyways, so yeah, that was a lot about home inspections and the difference between the real estate side and the home inspector side, and how important it is to really, I don't want to say stay in your lane. I encourage everybody to understand the process. And there are agents who know, like, hey, I was a contractor for 20 years. And they're legit, right?
Yeah.
And that's refreshing sometimes because they actually provide value to the client.
Right.
But if you don't know,
Don't put your name on it.
Yeah, right. Don't say it's fine. You know, don't try to say, well, you know, they're just making stuff up.
Oh, and
whatever.
it will bite you. And if you think like, I wonder if I could just let this go.
Yeah. Don't
do it. It will come back to haunt you.
Yeah, and don't get mad at the inspector because that's not a defect. We can't negotiate that. You can't. Well, I don't. It's different, right?
Yeah, just let it boil down to what is your client comfortable with moving forward.
Yeah, and
take the defect and all of that away.
I've told many clients, you know, especially these old homes, like, hey, if you want a 100-year-old home, and this is where you want to live, you've got to determine what set of problems you want to deal with.
That's right.
Because every house I inspect is going to have problems. Maybe this problem, maybe more, maybe less, maybe more expensive, maybe cheaper, but you got to figure out what your pain tolerance is and what you're willing to deal with.
That's right.
So anyways, you've been quiet over there.
She's like, this is not my topic of choice.
She only wants to talk about the Muppets.
Guys, go watch the Muppets. They just released a new episode, a pilot episode, last night at 9 p.m. on ABC, or you can stream it on Disney Channel, Disney Plus.
And we have a commercial.
The Plus.
Nico has a commercial on Hulu and Disney now.
Really?
We
wow.
Do.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We're doing big things. And we launched our own app that you can get in the App Store.
Nice.
Yes,
Whoa.
for Google
Nice.
and Apple.
Nice.
And we don't sell your info.
What?
Good.
It's the same home. You can look just like Zillow, Realtor, all of those big ones, but we do not. It's private. We don't sell your info. So
that's what we're talking about next time is the changing technology in real estate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
All
I'll
right.
talk about that one.
I hope you're here. I'm not going to talk about it with Courtney.
It'll be a 10-minute episode.
Yeah. All right. Well, appreciate it.
Yes.